For the last video, I summarized all kinds of transformation of graphs. So if you have no idea how to solve this question, please check out my previous video first. So let's get started. What you got from this question sentence? You have the point 3, 2 in the function y equals f of x. But you have to find is the point in this complicated function. So what you have to do is you transform the function from y equals f of x to this complicated function. Then you also move the point here 3, 2. Then you find the point in this function. But it's so hard to do it at one time, so you do it step by step. So let me start with horizontal transformations. Any changes made to here, inside the bracket, these relate to horizontal transformations. Sorry. The changes made to here, these relate to vertical transformations. But you can start from either horizontal translation or vertical translation. But you have to make sure you have to start from reflection or compression and expansion. Then you do a translation later. You can't do that the other way around. So if you do translation first, then you do reflection or compression and expansion later, you will get wrong answer. So please do make sure this red rectangle you have to start from reflection or compression and expansion, then you do a translation. Okay? So let's start with horizontal transformation. First change is y equals 3x, because there's 3 here. And this is horizontal translation. So you don't need to, y value doesn't need to be changed. So you leave it as it is. Then if there's a value here, this means horizontal compression by a factor of 1 over 3. So 3 times 1 over 3 is 1. Okay, this is horizontal compression. The next one, there's a negative value here, so I do reflection. So I put negative value here. So, and you don't need to change y value here, but you have to change x value because it's reflection. So you multiply -1, so it's gonna be -1. This is the last change for horizontal transformation. There's a -2 here, so y equals f of -3 times x minus 2. Oops. Let me change the color. -2. This means horizontal translation. So like I said, I do translation in the end. Okay, first you need your reflection or compression expansion, then you do translation. Okay, then you don't need to change y value, and if this value is negative, this means you shift right, which means +2. So -1 plus 2 is 1. Now you finished horizontal translation. Next, let's do vertical translation. Y equal f of negative 3x minus 2, and there's 4, so let me put 4 here. In this time it's vertical transformation, so you don't need to change x value this time, and there's a 4 in front of f of x. This means 2 times 4, which is 8. This is vertical expansion. Next one, you have the negative value here, so I also put negative 4, negative 3 times x minus 2. Then you don't need to change x value, and this is the reflection in the x-axis, so you multiply -1, so it's going to be -8. So it's gonna be last transformation. So you finished compression and the reflection, so now you can do translation. Y equal -4 times f of -3 times x minus 2 plus 1, because this value is plus 1. Okay, then you don't need to change x value, and this is vertical translation, so -1 plus 1, which is 7. Now it's not 7, it's -7. Now you finished all kinds of transformations. Then you succeeded in transforming from f of x to y equal -4 times f of -3 times x minus 2 plus 1. If you have any questions about what I did, for example, like here, that's all about reflection, compression, expansion, and translation. If you have a question about them, please check out my previous video.